can I put this on speaker?
Ah, yes, you sound alright. We're live.
Don't say fuck.
Bugger.
Yep. Oh, my cousin streams in French, and so I said to him, "Oh, you're on direct. Well, do not say le fuck or le bugger."
What did he say?
He says, "Oh, we didn't say it." Well, this was
we're supposed to be live on. Oh, we are. I think we're live on Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live on Rumble. We are live on Rumble. Right, just checking.
Oh, right.
We're live on Rumble, YouTube. You can watch us in the Telegram channel and D Live. D Live still works. It still works apparently. Right then. So, I thought I'd do the start like this. I kind of had it planned out a little bit. But this one's going to be big and it's going to be messy because this goes into all kinds of stuff. I thought I'd start it with where is it? Where is it? So, a postal clerk was crossing London's Blackfriars Bridge at 7:30 a.m. on Friday the 18th of June and noticed Calvi's body hanging from the scaffolding beneath. Calvi had 5 bricks in his pockets, and in his possession, he had 5 bricks in his pockets, where he had 4 in his pockets.
No, those were masonry bricks, not bricks of cocaine or other sort of bricks.
And he had one down the front of his trousers, which was quite funny. And he had...
Well, that was to impress the forensics.
Yeah. Next time, put it down the front of your trousers, as the joke. Goes.
Yeah. Oh, it's an old joke, but it still gets me.
And he had about 15 grand in 3 different currencies in his pocket. So I thought start like that.
That's $15,000, about £10,000.
Well, it's $14,000. I think it was 15,000 quid.
No, 10,000. Well, this was according to the Guardian.
Oh, okay.
So take it with a pinch of sustainably sourced organic salt.
Yeah. So what I thought I'd do that, and then it's record scratch. You're probably wondering how I got here.
Not really. You're a dodgy banker.
What a banker.
You got strung up like a kipper. You got strung up.
Right, so...
Well, actually, did he get strung up, though? Because, sorry to jump ahead,
yeah,
but
spoilers.
His demise was a bit suspicious.
It was a bit suspicious. And when we get there, we'll find out that he may not have hung himself.
You're saying it's not suicide?
It probably wasn't.
God, sorry, guys.
Roberto Calvi didn't kill himself.
Did he have evidence which would lead to the arrest of the Hillary? He probably did, actually.
Well,
I know we joke
it
about
was worse than that. He had evidence that would lead to the arrest and imprisonment of mafioso and various people who you really shouldn't go ticking off.
But you repeat yourself.
Yeah. So I thought I'd start this one is a very interesting fella. The name of Licio, I think it's Licio Gelli. So he was 21st of April 1919 to the 15th of December 2015. He had a nice full life. He was an Italian criminal and terrorist, a fascist volunteer in his youth. He's chiefly known for his role in the Banco Ambrosiano scandal, which is where Roberto Calvi worked.
Now, when you say he was a fascist volunteer, does that mean he was part of the LGBTQ+, the plus paedophile community?
He was a fascist in the true sense, not in the sense of, oh, look, you've got a slightly right-wing opinion. He was a proper fascist. Card-carrying... I think he was what you'd call a card-carrying fascist.
To quote Marvin from Simpsons, together we are weak little sticks, but together we form one mighty, and I can't say that word on YouTube because they don't like West Country cuisine or a bundle of sticks.
Yeah. And he was literally he was a full he was a full on stick enjoyer, bundle of stick enjoyer.
Yes.
He apparently, I've heard on other podcasts where they said that he was a pen pal of Goering.
I mean, just to distract and further procrastinate from getting to the meat of the subject, why is the symbol of the fasces a bundle of sticks wrapped around an axe? I mean, You don't really need an axe to get twigs. You just pick them up from the ground.
the axe is redundant.
Well, I mean, like, as somebody who does burn wood and coal in my stove, I do go and collect bunches of sticks and turn them into fasci.
As Oinkwinton says, I don't know whether you've seen this one, I bet you've seen the comic strip presents Spaghetti Hoops.
I don't know that one.
Ah, right. Well, this is where they did this, and apparently, I've never watched it myself, but The Godfather 3 is this story as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's that interesting story they did it.
Yeah, I always found The Godfather boring. I prefer Goodfellas.
I like the first two, but I don't know. I've heard not good things about the third one because they kind of went back to a while later as well, which sometimes isn't as good, is it? You need to strike while the iron's hot, don't you? If you're going to do a trilogy.
Is Marlon Brando still in the first? He's just in his first movie.
First two, I think, isn't he? Is he in the second?
Oh, okay.
Is he in the second one, or is it? Or is it where Robert De Niro plays his character? Robert De Niro plays his character in the second one, don't he?
I saw that film where these talk to the animals, love the animals, do whatever the animals do.
That was Rex Harrison.
Was it? I thought it was called The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Dr. Dolittle.
Oh, Dr. Dolittle Moreau?
No, Dr. Moreau was somebody else.
Oh, okay. Well, he's dressed up in white clown mask in that film.
So Lucio Gelli was also revealed in 1981 as being the venerable master of the clandestine Masonic Lodge propaganda. Well, it looks like it says Jew, but it's Dewey. P2.
Dewey.
Called. Yeah, propaganda Dewey.
Is P2 like the Italian equivalent of the Get Money Gang?
Yeah, it's the well, it's the as we'll get into later. It's the Get Italy Gang because he had his LARPy plan. He had the piano plan.
So that's
he had the piano.
That's a very old reference.
He had the piano di Rinascita Democratica. It's ultimately a selfish plan. It's about Licio Gelli
Your Italian is
my Italian isn't quite up to scratch.
Your Italian is impeccable, Heaven. It's impeccable. It is chef's kiss, bellissimo.
Spoken like a native.
That buongiorno, apples and pears, mange too. There we go.
Excuse me, garçon. Bill, please.
Uno Biro and a large plate of chips, lass.
So, Gino Ginelli. I wonder if he's related. Is he related to the ice cream man? Do you remember Gino Ginelli? Ice cream.
Oh, just a one cornetto. Give it to me. We will never get to the subject of the story.
So, Licio Gelli was born in Pistoia, Tuscany. I'm pretty sure there's an
easy
Italian
for
way
you
of
to
saying.
say.
I'm pretty sure there's an Italian way of saying that doesn't sound quite so bad. During the 1930s, Gelli, when he was still a 17-year-old student at Liceo Classico High School in Pistoia, was expelled from all schools in Italy.
So you're telling me the student
in one day or one incident, was it?
You're telling me he was expelled from 109 Italian schools, but it's all the teacher's fault.
None of it was his fault. That's pretty good though, getting expelled from every school in Italy. I mean, what did he do? That's what we need to know. What did he do?
Well, it was the teachers were just jealous of his brilliance.
Well, he was. I mean, you can't deny he was a bit. As you'll find out later on, he was a brilliant man. And so after this, he left as a volunteer to fight in Spain with the fascist brigades that supported Generalissimo Franco. I thought I'd do that with a bit of gusto.
Really?
It was
Gustaviccia.
It was in the fighting of Malaga that his older brother Raffaello died. So he was one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as well, then, was he?
What, next to Don Test?
Yeah. We don't know what happened to Raphael or Michelangelo, though. Oh, Raffaello died, didn't he? The youngest recruit in his contingent, he was decorated by Franco himself. Gielli also volunteered for the Black Shirts Expeditionary Forces sent by Mussolini in support of Francisco Franco's rebellion in the Spanish Civil War. He served as a liaison officer between the Italian government and Nazi Germany, and he participated in the Italian Social Republic with Giorgio Almirante, founder of the neo-fascist Italian social movement. They need a snappier name for that, don't they?
Well, the Italians like their long-winded names.
Yeah. So, after a sales job with the Italian mattress factory Permaflex, Gielli founded his own textile and importing company. How do you go from a salesman to founding your own textile and importing company?
Never you mind. It was his rich benefactor, Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony.
He said, who may or may not be fat.
So in 1970, in the plans of the failed Golpe Borghese, I think that's how you pronounce it. Golpe Borghese, let's see what this is. So that is, in English, the Borghese coup. It was a failed Italian coup d'etat allegedly planned for the night of 7th or 8th of December 1970. It was named after Junio Valerio Borghese, wartime commander of the Decima Flotilla. God, this is going to be a fun episode, isn't it? Decima Flottiglia, MAS, and a hero in many eyes of post-war Italian fascists. So he's got his...
A couple of minutes to get in, and
cool. So he's got his,
with the tricky word.
He's got his fascist. He's getting his fascist CV ready.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Gielli was tasked with arresting the Italian president Giuseppe Saragat. As master of the Propaganda Due Lodge, Gielli had ties with very high-level personalities in Italy abroad, and particularly in Argentina, where he was a fugitive for many years. The regular Masonic lodge was enjoyed by Guillermo Suarez Mason and Jose Lopez Rega, two key exponents of the Argentine military junta. Junta. The Argentine Chancellor Alberto Vignez.
Oh, bastard!
What?
Oh, I just put my shopping down inside the door. I don't like that table. I'm going to fall down now.
Well, you haven't broke anything, have you?
Well, my ego.
The Argentine Chancellor Alberto Vignez, drafted with Juan Perón. You know who Juan Perón is, don't you, a bit?
Well, Evita Perón was married to him.
That's it. The man with the more famous wife, who'd returned from exile in 1973, a decree granting Gielli the Grand Cru... Oh, fuck, at it again. What is it with these fucking Spanish, Italian people?
Right. Just do what I do. When I get a foreign word, you just think of a close English word for it. So call it Anglesey or whatever.
Well, he granted Gielli the Grand Cruz de la Orden del Libertador in August 1974. Why didn't he just call it the Jose Cross or something? As well as...
I think I had that in the Italian restaurant. I mean, I prefer lasagna, but it's all right.
As well as the honorary office of Economic Counselor in the Embassy of Argentina in Italy, Gielli publicly declared on repeated occasions that he was a close friend of Perón, although no confirmation ever came from South America. Gielli affirmed that he introduced Perón to Masonry, and this is, I don't know whether he means stones or funny handshakes, and this friend... and that his friendship was of in real importance for Italy. He stated, Perón was a Mason. I initiated him in Madrid, in Puerta de Hierro, in June 1973. Gielli became the main economic and financial consultant of Isabel Perón and Jose Lopez Rega.
Easy for you to say.
Isabel Perón. Okay, so she weren't like Don't Cry for Me Argentina. What about the Don't Cry for Me Argentina bird then? So a lot of links with Argentina. According to a letter sent by Gielli to Cesar de la Vega, a P2 member and Argentine ambassador to the UNESCO, Hobbit.
Oh, God.
So we're linking P2 to the UNESCO now. Gielli commissioned P2 member Federico Carlos Bartfeld to be transferred.
So they're connecting P2 to Pedo?
Yes. Can be transferred to the Consulate of Hamburg to the Argentine Embassy in Rome. Gielli was also named Minister for Plenipotentiary. What's that?
The plenipotentiary is something to do with popes and stuff. Sorry, I got UNESCO mixed up with UNICEF.
Probably.
UNESCO
are the ones that incredibly incredible site. That's ours, that is. We spat on that.
Yeah, it's like, no, you don't need to do any investigation of this advanced civilization. That's just random rocks that's put together, which is now a World Heritage Site. Go away.
You can't have Stonehenge. We spat on it.
Yeah.
Have you heard they're talking about giving it up if that road gets built underneath? I heard something like that the other day.
Well, there'll probably be people saying, "Oh, why don't we just ship it away like we did in the 1920s?"
Yeah.
You know that thing that says, "Oh, well, Stonehenge was built in the 20s." It wasn't built in the 20s. They righted the stones in the 20s.
Gielli was also named the Minister Plenipotentiary for Cultural Affairs in the Argentine Embassy in Italy, thus providing him with diplomatic immunity. Do you remember that from Lethal Weapon, Hobbit?
No, I don't. Sorry.
And then he gets shot by Mel Gibson, and Mel Gibson goes, revoked. Do you not remember that?
Oh. Confession. Even though I watched all of the Mel Gibson films, some of them are real stinkers. The Patriot's not particular, although I finally understand the memes with the red coats looking smug.
It's a bit anti-British, isn't it?
A little bit. You know, we're the horrible evil empire, and Mel Gibson just wants his farm with his sons, and the sons are like, "Oh no, you can't do that because I'm a patriot." Yeah, and yeah, so the Lethal Weapon films. I don't really rate them. Not really.
So as a side hustle for his diplomatic immunity, he had 4 diplomatic passports issued by Argentina, and has been charged in Argentina with falsification of official documents. He's a proper lad, isn't he, Gielli, isn't he?
Why would you have more than one passport? Is this one back when you was at school and you was like, "Oh, I'm just going to forge a hall pass and a prefect permission"?
Yeah. So during the 1970s, Gielli brokered 3-way oil and arms deals between Libya, Italy, and Argentina through the Agency for Economic Development, which he and Umberto Ortoliani.
Easy for you to say.
He's an Italian businessman, banker, farmland owner, and media mogul.
He's an Italian businessman? Oh, I thought we were going to do a song or something.
With interest in Italy and South America, and a Freemason and a friend of the Cardinal Giacomo Leccargo.
Hey, I know that. That's the brand which, what's his name advertised for? Hello, I'm Johnny Vegas. If you're fat, you're fat, go to Giacomo.
Are you a tubby lad? Do you want clothes?
Go Giacomo, innit?
Yeah. Are you a tubby
Giacomo.
Clothes. Why don't you just go on here?
Are you a bastard like me, Johnny Vegas? Well, I get my clothes from Jack. Actually, no, I don't get my clothes from Giacomo because I got a few pennies rubbed together. But you got Giacomo.
Just finishing up on his Argentine business. Several members of the Argentine military.
Everybody, I have arrived.
Several members of the Argentine military junta have been found to be P2 members, such as Raul Alberto Lastiri, Argentina's interim president from 13th of July to the 12th of October 1973. Emilio Massera, part of Jorge Videla's military junta from 1976 to 1978. Isn't that in the Young Ones Hobbit? Isn't that from Oil when they have a military junta?
Oh,
and then Viv hits Rick with the cricket bat between the legs, and he goes, "Ha ha! Missed both my legs."
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Alexei Sayle becomes their leader.
Yeah. No, Mike was, weren't he? Or was he like the secret police? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, but but Viv was the enforcer.
Mm.
Also, I don't think I've said it this today. Fuck Adrian Edmondson. Literally on the drive over, I was thinking to myself when I lost connection, who should have Rick Mell been paired up with in the 80s and 90s? And all I can think is Harry Enfield might have been a good fit for him.
Harry Enfield went about till the 80s. Didn't really come through until the 80s, did he? It was Friday Night Live when he used to do Stavros. Stavros was like his first big break.
I also think, even though he'd have come later, possibly, but no, Bill Bailey wouldn't have been compatible with him, would he?
No.
Bill Bailey.
No.
Like Jasper Carrot, come on.
Jose Lopez.
Well, Kevin Turvey and Jasper Carrot could work.
Yeah. Jose Lopez Rega, the infamous founder of the Argentine Anti-Communist Alliance, the AAA. That's at least they've got some snappy names, not like the Italians. The Lodge,
Jose and Hose B.
The Lodge P2, also known as the Propaganda Due, was also linked to the robbery of Juan Perón's severed hands. Yeah, I've read it. I've read about this.
He stole some severed hands. Okay.
Yeah, Juan Perón.
Wait. Ron Perón kept his severed hands in a cookie
No,
jar.
Juan Perón died, and then somebody broke into his. Must have been like a mausoleum, because obviously they're those kind of people. So someone broke in and nicked his hands. I don't know whether they thought he was like a saint or something, and they just so there's someone somewhere being blessed with the severed hands of Juan Perón. I told you this jelly is a proper lad.
Fuck me! I set off at 3:15 today. I've been on the road for 5 bloody hours.
We've all been there a bit.
Fuck me! Yeah. Can I just say, and this will go down in history for the record, because fuck the A34.
It's not as fun as the A111, is it?
It's not even a quarter as fun as the A111.
One.
I had to think about how many ones is in there.
I've gone south, like down to Bournemouth on a Friday night before, and the 31 never used to be fun. It was even worse. It was even worse before they sorted the M4 junction out. Do you remember when it used to be that roundabout of it?
Oh, vaguely. Can I just say,
fucking horrible that was.
I'm going to do a Stephen J. James here, and I'm probably disappointed that just 2 more weeks and everybody will be dead thing. Well, if it's more jam packed than ever. Mm-hmm. I'd say we gained more people.
So in 1981, Jelly. This is so Jelly apparently.
Come on, give him his full name. Jelly Tits Ass.
Licio Jelly Tits Ass.
Yeah.
So this is under the heading of alleged involvement in CIA activities in Italy. In 1981, Jelly was one of the very few Italians to be invited to President Reagan's oath.
Wow,
so there was a new. So during this time, there was a new CIA chief. William Casey became head of the CIA.
All right. Was he good? Was he bad?
He worked for the CIA. What do you think?
Oh, so all-round great American patriot.
Yes.
And
Yes.
beyond reproach. Can I just
All
say
above board.
this is going to be an impromptu radio version of Lighting a Fire series, because I'm looking at the thermometer. It's 11 degrees in my room.
Yeah, that's pretty cold.
Which, to be fair, it's nice that there's heat in this room.
So, in 1990, I mean, you're not going to believe this, Hobbit. I think this is pure lies and propaganda. But in 1990, a report on RAI television alleged, no evidence whatsoever, the CIA had paid Gielli to instigate terrorist activities in Italy. No!
In Operation 75% different from Gladio.
Doesn't Gladio cover it? I thought it was about Italy, wasn't it? Operation Gladio.
Oh, shall I just look up briefly what Operation Gladio did do?
Yeah, give us
Operation. Because they've got we've got a big fancy name for it. Operation Gladio. Operation Gladio is a code name for the clandestine state behind operations of armed resistance that were organised by the Western Union, founded in 1948, was subsequently by NATO and by the CIA in collaboration. So blah blah blah. According to several Western European, the operation involved the use of assassination, psychological warfare, and false flag operations, including blowing up school buses full of children. So thanks, CIA. Thanks for blowing up Italian school buses full of children.
Is the Bologna railway station explosion in Operation Gladio?
The Bologna.
The Bologna.
Operations in operations in
Bologna.
Oh yeah, they operated in Italy.
Yeah.
And it was what else did they do? From 1953 to 58. What else did they do? They did. Wow, there's actually a lot of stuff about Italy. They worked in Belgium. They worked in Denmark and France and Germany. So
Argentina.
Greece. They're in Greece. This is just Europe. Netherlands, Norway, Portugal. So basically, the USA went, right, we've liberated you guys. Time to do a series of assassinations so you definitely don't join communists. Turkey, Austria, Finland, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland. And, believe it or not, there was criticism of the Ganser, who had something to do with Gladio. Because they're saying, maybe you shouldn't be blowing up school buses full of children. Maybe that's not good optics. Fuck me.
Following this report, which also claimed the CIA had been involved in the assassination of the Swedish Prime Minister Olof Palme, and then President Francesco Cossiga.
That ties into what I want to say. Maybe United States is the Great Satan.
And then they also murdered in 1980. They murdered Francesco Maurizio Cossiga, who was an Italian politician, member of the Christian Democracy. So
what the fuck is America's problem with Europe? They just go, "Oh, nice country got there. Shame if someone blew up a school bus full of children."
Or a president.
Oh yeah, or a president. No one gives a fuck about them.
Yeah. So then requested the opening of investigations, while the CIA itself officially denied these allegations. And you can bet it was they had no problem denying those allegations. I mean, are the CIA literally Bart Simpson? You didn't see me, you can't prove anything. I didn't do it. Critics have claimed the RAI report to be a fraud because of the inclusion of testimony from Richard Brenneker, who claimed to be a former CIA agent and made several declarations concerning the October surprise conspiracy. So Richard Brenneker, US businessman who testified in 1988 he'd worked in Southeast Asia with Central Intelligence Agencies, Air America. So Air America was the was that the importation of heroin to the United States, wasn't it?
Probably.
Oh, I've got a thing to mention. God, I keep interrupting all the time with this show.
It's going to be be one of those because there's a lot of information to get through, and there are plenty of chances to sidetrack on this.
You'll probably find this out later on, but there was a thing where God's Banker, as he's called, gets Panama something to do with that. And then they said, oh, we've got 49 tons of cocaine, so we load it up on the CIA transport so that it can be incinerated in the CIA. I think maybe the saying lost in translation. Maybe incinerate means insufflated up. Yeah, insufflated up the nostrils.
Dump on black communities, then? I think that's what incinerated means. Then.
Or snorted up the noses of 1980s businessmen. And
it was that kind. It was the expensive stuff, then, was it?
It was the good kind, not the bad kind.
So the October surprise that I just mentioned refers to an allegation.
Do you think it made it to the White House? Do you think it...
That's what... It ain't called the White House for nothing. Refers to an allegation that representatives of Ronald Reagan's presidential campaign made a secret deal with Iranian leaders to delay the release of American hostages until after the election between Reagan and Jimmy Carter.
You just imagine the Snopes or Stephen J. James saying, oh, well, you see in Panama, they don't have the facilities to incinerate cocaine, so it has to be, you have to ship 49 tons of it on aircraft to the United States.
You have to because you have to dump it on Hollywood, so Joel Silver can carry on making his great action films that he used to make in the 80s. This is what they need to do. This is what they need to be doing. They need to make it snow in Hollywood again.
That's what it is.
Movies.
Right. We need more cocaine. Yeah.
Well, the sort of movies you get now are a consequence of SSRIs and Adderall. So, those are shit drugs.
It's more the consequence of probably a diet like Stephen J. James's plus a puritanical attitude. So they need to be drinking beers, snorting meat. It'd be yard in America, yard long lines of coke. We need to make Hollywood great again with cocaine. We need to make it snow. Obviously, on this podcast, we don't condone drug use unless it's
absolutely not.
Unless it's film executives
or the CIA,
or George Floyd.
No, those fuckers in the CIA, they need to be as straight as a die, and they do need to be on a Stephen J. James diet.
You don't understand. You think how much worse it'd be if that was the case. Just think. Can you imagine? Yeah, a whole CIA full of Stephen J. Jameses.
So Brennica's
background... You do not understand the Pandora's box you've opened now.
So Brennica's background was also investigated by US Senate subcommittee, which dismissed Brennica's claims of CIA employment. In June 2020, the Swedish police closed their investigation into Olof Palme's assassination, assigning blame to Stig Enstrom, a Swedish graphic designer and centre-right municipal activist who was not affiliated with the CIA and absolutely did it on its own. There wasn't another Swede on the grassy knoll. It's you're making it all up. That's conspiracy theories. So what do they think? They think the CIA only use people that are actually they're actually sending payslips to. Is that what they think? Is it these people? Well, he doesn't work for the CIA. I haven't seen his payslips.
He hasn't got a badge. Yeah, that guy hasn't got a badge, so he mustn't be working for the CIA.
He can't be working for the CIA.
That 49 tons of cocaine was all accounted for. It definitely was incinerated, honest gov.
So I'm going to stop on the next bit because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to kind of 1982. And then we're going to do the murder, and then we'll go back and see what happened afterwards. So Gielli's downfall started with the Banco Ambrosiano scandal, which we'll get into later. So the Banco Ambrosiano scandal is the scandal which led to Roberto Calvi dipping his little feeties into the Thames. Which led to the 1981 police raid on his villa and the discovery of the P2 covert lodge. On 17th of March 1981, a police raid on his villa in Arezzo led to the discovery of a list of 962 persons, composed of Italian military officers and civil servants, including the heads of the 3 Italian secret services, involved in Propaganda Due, also known as P2. They have to keep saying this. A clandestine lodge expelled from Grande Oriente d'Italia Masonic organisation. So P2 were that edgy that the Italian Masons gone, you lads are out. You're too edgy for us. You edgy boys.
What? The Freemasons?
Yeah,
too edgy.
Wow, you lads are the edgy boys. You can't,
guys,
you can't be in our gang.
Guys, all we wanted to do was sacrifice babies and virgins. This has gone too far. Can you leave? Yeah.
Future Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi was on the list, although he had not yet entered politics. He was then known as the founder and owner of Canale 5 TV channel. Did that one that had Tutti Frutti on it, Hobbit?
Oh, search me, mate.
And was listed as a member of P2. Because Berlusconi used to do his bunga bunga parties, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's a great guy or a bad guy or whatever, but I am saying that he did call. He did refer to Mama Merkel as an unfuckable lard ass.
Mama Merkel. Is that what he just said, Mama Merkel?
Oh,
did I hear that right?
Yeah, they referred to her as Mama Merkel for some reason.
No, it's Mama Merkel because they refer to her as the mother of the refugees, don't they? I think that's why. That's why she's referred to, because she's their mama. Their Mama Merkel. So a parliamentary commission directed by Tina Anselmi. God blimey. Oof, you fucker. Jesus. She makes Angela Merkel look fuckable, I bet. Was an Italian. She was an Italian politician, member of the Italian resistance movement during World War II. She went on to become the first woman to hold a ministerial position in Italian government. So she was,
which lasted about 4 months, because every 4 months they have an election.
Yeah. So Tina Anselmi was of the Christian Democratic Party. I think they're kind of like the Conservatives. So like everybody hates them, I think. Like people on the right hate them because they're not right wing enough, and people on the left hate them because they're right wing. So she found no evidence of crimes, but in 1981 the Italian Parliament passed a law banning secret associations in Italy. Gielli was expelled from GOI Freemasonry on the 31st of October 1981. Why Halloween? They're so fucking larpy, aren't they, the Freemasons?
Well,
they're literally obsessed with numerology.
Baphomet. Yeah, fucking, I don't know.
And the P2 scandal provoked the fall of Arnaldo Forlani's cabinet in June 1981. It don't take much to, as you were saying, Fraser, it don't take much to topple Italian government, does it? It's just running out of paper clips or something.
Strong breeze, yeah, fucking strong breeze does it.
For some reason, I can't enter stuff in the live chat in Rumble. I want to say hello, chat, wibble wobble. Don't say fuck or bugger.
Okay.
Dom can, so you should be able to. It's something at your end, I think.
Yes, it's a me problem.
Dom says, I've spent years on the M25. Surely it deserves a mention. They're too sexy for Milan, New York, and Japan.
And it's now signed me out of Rumble. That's nice.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah.
The P2 Lodge. The P2 Lodge had some form of power in Italy, given the public prominence of its members, and many observers still consider it to be extremely strong. Several famous people in Italy today, starting with the top TV anchorman Maurizio Costanzo, the household name, were affiliated with P2. Is that like Jeremy Vine being in the Masons?
It's like Rolf Harris, I think.
We can use the new title of Jeremy Vine, Bicycle Nonce.
Bike Nonce, yeah. Have you seen? I'm loving Jerry Barton's work right now. Among these is Michele. It's spelt Michelle, but it's Michele Sindona. So he's the next person we're going to talk about after this. Michele Sindona, nicknamed the Shark, so he's above board. A banker with clear connections to the mafia. has been clearly associated with P2. In 72, Sindona purchased the controlling interest in Long Island.
Is that where the term loan shark comes from? It's got to be, right?
Probably.
I took a loan from the shark. You know?
Basically, Michelle Sindona taught Roberto Calvi all he knew. But that's where Roberto Calvi learnt to be a crooked bastard. In 1972, Sindona purchased the controlling interest in Long Island's Franklin National Bank. 2 years later, the bank collapsed. Whoops. Convicted in 1980 in the US, Mysterious Michele was extradited to Italy. 2 years later, he was poisoned in his cell while serving a life sentence. Like I say, we'll get back to Michele Sindona. Very interesting.
Yeah.
The shark. The P2 membership list was authenticated with a few exceptions by a 1984 parliamentary report. And if there's one thing you can trust, it's an Italian parliamentary report.
I mean, you know, if you've ever seen The List and you know what we're on about, maybe.
So
I tell you what, I trust the Italians more than the fucking Americans. Fuck
exactly.
Operation
That's what
Gladio.
I'm saying. Like, at least they can get lists out there, you know. Epstein's
is that because of all the Italians in the American government, though? Is that what we're saying?
Probably. Yeah.
On the run, Gielli escaped to Switzerland, where he was arrested on September 13th, 1982, while trying to withdraw tens of millions of dollars in Geneva. What did he do? Just go, give me it all, just stick it in the bag, stick it in the bin bag.
How to raise suspicion of oneself while on the run.
Yeah.
Try to withdraw all of your money at once.
Yeah. Obviously, Switzerland.
Will Sir be liking these in unmarked bills and a ticket to the Cayman Islands?
Switzerland, Europe's second most trustworthy country.
Well, that's exactly what I mean.
What's the most trustworthy country?
If you can't do that in Switzerland, where can you do it? You know,
Luxembourg.
Well, the top's got to be Italy, isn't it? And then it's Switzerland after that. So, while trying tens of millions of dollars in Geneva, detained in the modern Champ d'Olon prison near Geneva, he managed to escape, then fled. It's like, how the fuck? It's like, what the fuck are the Swiss doing? What are they doing?
Swiss prison.
Did he literally
just
hey
an open
guard,
door.
hey guard, your shoes untied? Is that what he did? Then legged it. And then he fled to South America for 4 years.
No, you know what he did? He got the ketchup bottle and like squeezed it on himself, and he laid down in his, on the floor.
Oh, he did,
and the guy's like, "Oh no!"
He did. Is that where it comes from? Is that where that came from? From Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Then fled to South America for 4 years. In 1984, Jorge Vargas, the Secretary General of the Union Nacionalista de Chile, or UNAC, they've got to sort out that thing. That's not good. UNAC. The Nationalist Union of Chile, a short-lived National Socialist Party, and a former member of the Movimiento Revolucionario Nacional Sindicalista, the National Syndicalist Revolutionary Movement. I'm pretty sure we could have figured that out. Declared to La Terraza de la Hora that Gielli was then in Pinochet's Chile, so he buggered off to Chile.
And there he got a freak.
Weren't Maggie like a big mates with Pinochet and all, weren't she?
Yeah, everyone was friends with Pinochet. Yeah, everyone's friends with someone until they, they're not in
until they end up on the helicopter.
Yeah, exactly. Like everyone liked Gaddafi until like fucking 2003, right? Was it 2003?
Yeah.
Was it later? Yeah,
Right, so I'll put a pin in it there because that's 1982 for Gielli. So the next thing we'll talk about is the Propaganda Due. Was a Masonic lodge. It's weird, isn't it? Propaganda Due. Founded in 1877 within the tradition of continental Freemasonry. Bloody Continentals. Coming over here, doing their Freemasonry.
Did you want me to read any of this? Because
do you want to do the Propaganda Due then, Hobbit?
Yeah, give us a link though, because I don't know what source you're reading from.
Wikipedia, obviously.
Greatest
Okay.
source in the world.
The greatest source in the world.
Well, it's okay if you're going to plagiarise it for your PhD, but never mind about that.
Is that what you did, Hobbit?
Well, I didn't work in MIT on structural architecture of crabs and other things.
Is that true? No way.
Right, so there's this woman who has a PhD in crab architecture. She plagiarised it from multiple sources, including Wikipedia, and then she was friends with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh no!
And then she married like the guy who set up the lists because he was a billionaire. He is a billionaire, and he set up lists about.
That's what you want when you're an international paedophile. You want someone making lists, don't you?
Well, yeah, the guy was like he's this billionaire, and he got upset about the divestment. The "We don't like Israel very much" movement. So he made up lists. And then people said, "Oh well, your wife, you clues." Oh, that was it, yeah, because the head of Harvard had stepped down due to plagiarism. And then people said, "Well, isn't your wife responsible?"
Something gay in it. I can't remember.
The gay, yeah, that's it. Prosecution, death, scandal, films. What was this? Because god, life and career. Where are we?
What?
Death,
propaganda,
prosecution.
The last link I just put in.
Oh, thanks.
It's in God's Banker. Sorry, it's in the God's Banker channel. In general.
Life and career.
Yeah. There's propaganda duet. Yeah. Oh, do I trust end.wikipedia.org links? I'm not sure. Discord. That looks like a dodgy site to me.
Yeah, that's just English Wikipedia, isn't it?
So propaganda duet, which is the Italian pronouncer of propaganda do it in it, was a Masonic lodge founded in
Propaganda 2, isn't it?
I
don't want to be in Propaganda 2. I want to be in Propaganda 1.
What happened to Propaganda Cinquecento?
Propaganda 3.
Yeah, what
just an aside.
Propaganda 1.
Just as an aside, right? Dad was watching classic cars, and I said, "Oh, that's a Fiat 126." He says, "Yeah, it's a Cinquecento." I was like, "That's Italian for 500." I don't know what Italian for 126 is, but I know that's a 126. And then they looked into it, and then he closed the boot because it's a rear-engine vehicle, and it says, "Yeah, Fiat 126."
Mm.
He says, "Oh, you're right. Yeah, that is a Cinquecento." I was like, "You're just like." Why do you have to be so wrong about everything? You dickhead. Why can't you ever just go, "Oh, I was wrong. Oh, it looked like a Fiat 500. It's like, not really, but I get what you mean.
Licio Gelli got a write-up in the Financial Times.
Mm.
I hope the audience appreciates how with it and focused I am today, and how I've had an excellent week and really enjoyed that fucking drive on the A34. Anyway, was a Masonic lodge founded in 1877 with a tradition of continental Freemasonry and under the authority of the Grand Orient of Italy. Its Masonic charter was withdrawn in 1976. Why? Did they get expelled from Freemasonry?
Is this like when the Yorkshire Ripper said, "I never knew Jimmy Savile"? Is it that kind of level? Is it?
To me, it's like, oh, they got it in. Oh, you've got that guy in it. You're expelled from Freemasonry school.
Do you remember that when the Jimmy Savile stuff came out and the Yorkshire Ripper distances?
He says, "Look, I might be a horrible monster, but at least I'm not Jimmy Savile."
I might be a misogynist woman batterer and stabber, but I'm not a nonce.
Yep. And right, so anyway, that's it. So the charter was withdrawn in 1976, and it was transformed by Worshipful Master, which means Satanist, Licio Gelli. By the way, Freemasons, you worship Lucifer. When you get into the 33rd and above degrees, Lucifer, who is Tubal Cain.
Is this like Scientology, when you don't find out about Xenu until you've sunk about $1 million into it?
And then it's like the gamblers will understand this, the sunk cost fallacy. It's like, well, I've gone this far, I may as well carry on.
I mean, either that or the CIA get you in a room with a dead boy or a live one.
It's a dead girl or a live
dead
boy.
girl.
It's a dead girl or a live boy. Yeah. I can't remember the guy who said it. He was a politician. He said, "I'm going to win this one unless I'm found with a live boy or a dead girl."
Oh, I see. And it was transformed by Satanist in chief Licio Galilei into an international, illegal, clandestine, anti-communist, anti-Soviet, anti-Marxist, and radical right criminal organisation. Oh, well, it's bad if it's anti-Semitic.
No. You can't be a Satan worshipper and a communist, an anti-communist.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, this is why it goes against the Charter, because they did not serve their Dark Lord Lucifer.
Surely communist would be the ideal political ideology for someone as evil as a Mason.
It is. That's what it is. That's why they went wrong. They stopped being communist.
This is
it wasn't being worshipping the devil or anything. They became fascist.
Well, you see, this is a rogue Freemasonry thing in that they rebelled against
the nonsense, the bombing train stations. All of that stuff we're prepared to overlook, but look, the anti-communist, anti-Marxist stuff, we can't have that.
Can't make this shit up, can you?
So yeah, they did all this stuff which goes against Freemasonry.
Upset the Masons. I mean, you got to go some to upset the Masons, haven't you?
Yeah, the sunk. Oh, as Domov says, the sunk cost fallacy, where you put an E on Daniel Japp. So I wouldn't recommend that. Oh, by the way, I heard down the grapevine that they're poisoning all the drugs now. So they're all getting fentanyl in it.
Can they just stop watching films? Can they just stop it? Stop watching films. Stop reading books. Come up with your own ideas. That's literally Kingsman 2.
What, poisoning all the drugs?
Yeah. It's just literally Kingsman 2. Can you stop? Can you just stop it? Our overlords, can you just come up with your own ideas, please? Like, we've had enough. 1984,
no.
We've had enough. We've just had enough.
Well, no, that's the revolution of a method. They're already doing this. They just told you, like, in a film.
Oh, yeah, the thing where they have to tell you.
People rant and rave about how great Utopia is. I'm not watching it, but the thing is, it was already explained before then with Children of Men. It's like, oh dear, everybody's infertile, and those that can't afford to have children anyway.
Except that black woman.
They're the only ones that are going to have children from now, or is blacks with HIV. So anyway, the P2 Lodge, what's that all about? I hear you ask. Well, I'll carry on then. So they did a bunch of anti-Freemason stuff, which operates in contravention of Article 18 of the Constitution of Italy, that banned all such secret associations. Oh, except for, all the other Freemason lodges and mafias.
But Licio Gelli took that as a challenge. not a contravention.
Yeah, the rules are a guideline, a suggestion.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So anyway, Licio Gelli continued to operate the unaffiliated lodge from 1976 to 84.
Oh no.
P2 was implicated in numerous.
He's not affiliated. Does that mean all his forms aren't in order?
Oh dear.
Does that mean he can't sell drink? The bar's now unlicensed. Is that what it means?
I think what Chaos 243 meant to say there is boom boom, I'll get my coat. But yeah, not tonight. P2 was implicated in numerous Italian crimes and mysteries, including the collapse of the Holy See affiliated Banco Ambrosiano, the contract killings of journalist Carmine Pecorelli, mobbed up bank president, Roberto Calvi, and political corruption cases within nationwide Tagliatelle bribery scandal.
Tangento Poly bribery scandal.
Yeah, like I said, Tagliatelle. P2 came to light through the investigations into the collapse of Michel Sindona's financial empire.
And that,
Oh wait. Oh, hang on. That's a bloke. Michael Sindona.
Michael.
it's
Well, look, it's Italian for
Michele.
Michael. Yeah, Michael.
Michelangelo. Yeah, that's it.
Michelle.
so
P2,
Tangento Poly
yeah.
translates as Bribesville or Kickback City, apparently.
Oh, right. Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so
I think
it's
they
just
call
it's
that
anti-corruption stuff.
I think the Anglosphere equivalent of that is APAC.
Yeah.
P2 was sometimes referred to as a state within a state or a shadow government or continuity. Yeah, it doesn't say here continuity of government, but that's, the Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
Is it
Denver Airport? That's it.
Yeah, the continuity government. It's got Cheyenne Command. That's the one. I was just trying to
why
think.
Does there need to be so much
Cheyenne.
detail in that horse's butthole in Denver Airport?
What?
Horse's butthole? Where?
Do you remember we did?
Oh, that! Yeah.
Do you remember we did
And there's
this?
veins on the testicles as well.
Yeah.
The fucking
it's
horse's
like-
butthole is like, why does the butthole need so much detail on it?
Having met people in the art world, I can imagine the sculptor now. Right, here's an artist impression of the sculptor when they were saying, "What's the delay with this?" I gotta get the wrinkles in. The horse's blood. Cool.
Now
Yeah,
the question was like, what is it molded on the inside?
You'll never know. Cool. Hey, butthead, check it out. I'm gonna put balls on this horse.
Why does this horse statue's arsehole look like it's a bit stretched? What's that in the? Why is it?
Why is this horse's arsehole wrecked? If you don't believe us, anybody who's listening, just look at the horse statue at Denver Airport.
I assure you, Colorado government that approves statues, the horse anus is integral to the statue.
And the
it needs.
Do you remember the weird SS guy? The weird SS guy with the fucking
Just
bayonet?
a minute. The veins on the bollocks are structural support veins.
No structural support veins.
That's a load
Counterweights.
What if
that's a load bearing ball sack?
What if the actual veins on that are some kind of like? It's like you need Tom Hanks there, like in the Da Vinci Code. It's a coded arsehole.
All I'm thinking is it's like that scene with Pamela Anderson where
you know what it is. You have to like rub the balls and stick your finger in the bum hole, and it opens a secret passage. Yeah, that's it. That's how they get down to the bunkers underneath the airport.
As Dom says, it's autistic expression.
Autistic expression.
It certainly is. So anyway, a state within a state that has nothing to do with Denver International Airport and the horse butthole statue. The logic amongst its... Well, actually, we'll get on to that, won't we? As among its members, prominent journalists, some who may or may not have flown through Denver International Airport. Members of the Italian...
Manti would have been better if Tony Stark had to figure out that new chemical from looking at that horse's butthole.
I think it was in one of the deleted scenes of National Treasure where it's like...
Yeah.
So P2, I hear you say. What's
Wait,
that?
the Aztec City of Gold, they just rub the bollocks, open up the secret passage. There we go. It's not Mount Rushmore. It's
So P2 then. It's pretty cool, right? Shadow government. Oh yeah. So members of the Italian Parliament, industrialists, and senior Italian military officers, including Silvio Berlusconi.
Who said Mama Merkel was an unfuckable
Yeah, that's it. Oh, her name's Angela Merkel, isn't she? Yeah. He became the Prime Minister of Italy, don't you know? And the House of Savoy pretended to the Italian throne.
Is that the cabbage bloke?
Well, his name's Prince Victor Emmanuel.
No, Savoy cabbage. No.
Prince Vittorio Emanuele of Savoy.
Is it not a proper Savoy cabbage unless it comes from Italy? Then is it? Is that what?
I think you'll find that the cabbages are named after the region Savoy and not the other way around. Oh, I like this, right? P2, they say political position far right, religion Catholicism. don't you pin that on us, bitch.
Also,
fuck off. Fair and impartial
national
Wikipedia.
affiliation, Banda de Molina Cosa Nostra alleged, CIA alleged, Operation Gladio alleged.
Well, I'm glad I did sort of lay the foundation of Operation Gladio. By the way, blowing up school buses full of children, not a good look, CIA.
No.
The importing 49 tons of Panamanian cocaine to incinerate. Oh, you can't see me doing air quotes. That's funny. Blowing up school buses full of children, not so funny. I can't laugh at that.
Introducing crack into black ghettos, not good.
Well, it is kind of funny. Yeah, I'm sure the American police officers have a laugh when they arrest yet another crackhead.
We did,
and
we did.
I really enjoy seeing the effects of crack on people I've known. Yes, crack. It's a fun drug. You should definitely do it. I fully endorse that, and here at 40 Words we endorse crack cocaine use for everybody.
Although not officially.
Not really. Yeah.
Can't prove it. We said
we're not. When we have to preface that with sarcasm on this because the fun police or Stephen J. James will take it literally and will go and do crack cocaine.
That's why I heard the moon missions have been delayed because they don't have enough crack cocaine.
They need some more crack cocaine to get to the moon. So industrialists, prime ministers,
he sounds
Victor
like an
Emmanuel.
interesting guy though, doesn't he? Because he thinks he says he's. So it says Prince Vittorio Emanuele of Savoy, Prince of Naples, is the only son of Umberto II, the last king of Italy, and his wife Marie Jose of Belgium. Vittorio Emanuele also uses the title Duke of Savoy and claims the headship of the House of Savoy.
Marie Jose is not a very Belgian name, is it?
Wait, is he actually directed? Why is he? Why are they saying he's the last king? Like, did he abdicate or?
Where is this? He's just. He's a bit of a Prince Andrew, I think.
Okay.
I think as the name is French there, it might be pronounced Marie José. I could be wrong though. I don't know many Josés, but I assume that's.
She looks.
She was born in. She was born in Ostend. Is she Flemish?
So when Umberto II left Italy after the monarchy was abolished by the 1946 Italian institutional referendum, so they had a referendum and fucked his dad off. Basically, that's why he's not king.
Wait, hold on. Wait, yeah, but Mussolini got rid of the monarchy, didn't he? Did he not?
No, it's 46. Was it? 46. It was in charge in 46.
Well,
not Mussolini.
Not Mussolini.
Yeah, I think he was hanging around underneath lampposts by then, wasn't he?
I believe the ruler of Italy at the time was Franklin Roosevelt.
Yeah, so I think they just decided that you're not having a royal family.
Dom asks a very pertinent question to Operation Gladio and the P2. He says, why do people smoke crack? Have they never racked up a line before? Well, we know this person called Jack Star, and you could interview him about that, and he'll give you a very insightful and concise answer.
Isn't crack cheaper than it's the poor man's?
Well, not really, because it's a derivative of cocaine, so you've got to do further processing to it. The high is stronger and the duration is shorter, so it's more addictive.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Not as good as Nuke, then.
Nuke was definitely not an analogy for crack cocaine. I'm going to say I haven't watched both Robocop 1 and 2. I still like 2, but 1 is the better film.
Yeah.
We were on about the heads of that's it. So we're talking about the members of P2 and the heads of all three Italian foreign intelligence services, which at the time is the SISI, the Sismi, and the Sissis.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the Sissi, and Sissi Italian agencies.
Yeah, I'm not.
When searching for Gilly's villa in 1982, police found a document entitled "Plan for Democratic Rebirth."
I think we'll probably have a look at that because I bet it's quite larpy and quite funny.
I wonder if it's like a copy and paste of the Club of Rome treaty from the early 50s, which was like, we're going to do an EU
No, it's
and make
literally
it...
Licio Gelli's. Literally Licio Gelli's version of Siege, I think.
Ledger Siege.
It literally displays. It's his plan. It's ultimately a selfish plan.
Which will involve him having a villa in the Italian Alps.
Yeah, plan for the.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to tell you the plan. I don't think you're going to.
It doesn't matter. We'll get past it.
Oh,
anyway,
I found Wiki Spooks, and they're saying that possible link to 18th century Illuminati propaganda.
We've got a summary of it here. The plan involved a coup d'état. Why can't we? If you've translated "Plan for Democratic Rebirth," why can't we translate "coup d'état" to "off with their heads"?
Yeah.
The consolidation of the media. Oh, well, we've already had that here with the BBC.
Yeah.
The suppression of the Italian labour unions and the rewriting of the Italian constitution. Outside of Italy, Peter had many active lodges in Venezuela. You are gay.
Uruguay.
Brazil.
Uruguay. Uruguay.
You are gay. Chile and Argentina. Along its Argentine members were Raúl Alberto Bucciasgali, who was not a member of P2, who was briefly interim president of the country after the end of the self-styled Argentine Revolution dictatorship, which was 66 to 73. Anyway, Emilia Macera was also part of it. He was part of the military junta, led by George Rafael Vidal Sassoon. My God, the moustache on him puts Saddam Hussein and Nigel Mansell's to shame. Can we?
That is a quality tash. Do you want me to put the tash on?
Can you, just for the audience, we need to have a look at this great moustaches through history.
Great moustaches of the 20th century, isn't it?
And so George Rafael Vidal Sassoon had Argentina's last civil military dictatorship, which was 76 to 83.
Look,
and then you have the
tash. That is a tremendous tash there.
You had the Peronist Orthodox. Is that a religion? Orthodox Peronism, Peronist Orthodox, or National Justice Callous.
Peroni.
That's Juan Perón. That's probably why his plates of meat got nicked. Not his plates of meat.
It's a faction within Peroniism where you only have it with like a beer with your meal and not on its own. Anyway, Jose Lopez Riga, who was Minister of Social Welfare.
I think we're going to have to do. I'll find the story about the theft of his hands.
I mean, for the sake of completeness, I will mention all these names, though they mean nothing to me. And founder of the parliamentary organisation Argentine Anti-Communist Alliance, or also known as the AAA, and disgraced former Argentine Army General, dirty war perpetrator and convicted murderer, Guillermo Suarez Mason. Mason, that's it. He's got a very English-looking face. Carlos Mason.
Peroni. It should have been Peron.
Yeah. Foundation. Propaganda was founded in 1877 in Turin as Propaganda Masonica. The lodge was frequented by politicians and government officials from across Italy who were unable to attend their local boy buggerers club, and included prominent members of the Piedmont nobility. During its history, the lodge included important Italian figures such as the poet Giuseppe Sloppy Viennese World, politicians Francisco Crispi and Arturo Labriola, and journalist Gabriele Galantala. Propaganda Masonica was banned in 1925 alongside all their Masonic lodges and secret societies by the fascist regime. So this is why they're known as P2. Propaganda electric boogaloo. Following the end of World War II, Freemasonry became legal again. Oh, thanks, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And the lodge was reformed. The name was changed to Propaganda Due when the Great Grand Orient of Italy numbered its lodges. By the 1960s, the lodge was all but inactive, holding a few meetings. The original lodge had little to do with one Liceo Gilli, established in 1966, 2 years after becoming a Freemason. During the Cold War, Italian Freemasonry traditions of free thinking under the Risorgimento transformed into fervent anti-communism. The increasing influence of the political left at the end of the 60s had the Masons of Italy deeply worried. In 1971, Grandmaster Lino Salvini of the Grand Orient
theft of Juan Perón's hands.
Go on, then.
So Perón died in July 1974. His casket remained in the Quinta de Olivos presidential residence until the March 1976 coup. The coffin was then placed in the Perón family tomb in Chacarita Cemetery, located in the Chacarita ward of the city of Buenos Aires. Just in case you didn't know where the Chacarita Cemetery would be. June 1987, 13 years after his death. So 13 years. Could this be Masonic? 13 years. The Peronist Justicalist Party received an anonymous letter claiming Perón's hands had been removed from his tomb along with his army cap and sword. The letter demanded the party pay US $8 million for their return. When authorities checked Perón's tomb, they discovered it had been indeed broken into and the hands and other items removed. Forensic experts who examined the body said the mutilation had occurred only a short time before the discovery. One source states the tomb was broken into on June the 23rd, 1987, and that a poem written to him by his last wife Isabel had also been removed from the tomb. At the time, some news reports stated the hands had been removed with a surgical instrument, but later reports state the dismemberment had been done with an electric saw. Head of the Justicalist Party, Vincente Sadi, refused to allow the ransom to be paid. A criminal investigation was begun under the leadership of Judge James Farsuau. This sounds like it was done in India. Although 6 men were arrested and 5 arraigned, none were charged in relation to the incident. No suspects have been charged and their hands have never been recovered. Many of those involved in the investigation of the disappearance of Perón's hand, including Judge Farsuau, have since died. Some under circumstances considered questionable. There is evidence that the theft had some sort of official support, as the robbers used the key to enter the tomb. Argentinian anthropologist Rosana Guba has written that Perón's hands were seen by Argentinians as a symbol of his power, and that their theft was not just a simple criminal matter, but also had deep cultural meaning. She viewed the debate about the hands as symbolic of the attempt to promote democracy in the country. Lyman Johnson viewed the dismemberment as a catalyst to destroy the symbolic cult of Perón. In their book Second Death, Liceo Gelli, the P2 Masonic Lodge and the Plot to Destroy Juan Perón, writers Damien Nabot and David Cox write that the Masonic Lodge P2, also known as Propaganda Due, were also involved in the theft, and that there was a ritual involved in the cutting of Perón's hands.
Nasty.
Also, Evita's corpse disappeared after her husband fled the country.
Right.
There you go. As you were, Hobbit.
So the Grand Master Lino Salvini, the Grand Orient of Italy, which is one of Italy's largest Masonic lodges, I'm not sure if that's relevant, but that's what's written here, assigned to Gelli the task of reorganizing the lodge. Gelli took a list of sleeping members not invited to participate in Masonic rituals anymore, as Italian Freemasonry was under close scrutiny by the Christian democracy in power through the Pentapartito. What's a Pentapartito? Is that 5 partitions? The Pentapartito,
commonly shortened to CAF, Refers to
Coalition
the
government of 5
coalition
Italian.
5, yeah.
Oh, so it literally means 5 parts. There we go. Hey, look, I know the Italian. Tagliatelle.
Pentapardito.
Lasagna. Tutti di frutti.
Gino
So there we
Giannone.
go. Yeah, that's it. Limoncello. Oh, yeah, I could do with one. Well, actually, no, it's a bit too cold. It was a balmy 11 degrees when I got into my room. After an hour of the fire going on, it's now 12.8 degrees. So, you know, you can't beat the charm of a rustic wood-fired stove, can you now? Well, actually, you can. You can have gas central heating. It's far better. But anyway.
Yeah.
From these initial connections, Gilly was able to extend his network throughout the echelons of Italian establishment. In '67, Giovanni Allavenna, former number 1 of SIFA, was initiated into the lodge, who gave Gilly the photocopies of 157,000 secret files. Why? Containing telephone and environmental interceptions, photographs, correspondence, and private information, including on the sex life of as many personalities.
He's like the Kenny of his day, isn't he?
It just sounds like an incomplete statement. It's like, oh, yeah, he gave him photocopies of sex life of as many personalities. Of what?
Right, I'm in the lodge. Here you go.
Yeah.
I'm in the lodge.
Why?
Here you go.
Why does this happen? But anyway, that's all we get. Next paragraph. I think I'd have gone with the wine, actually.
Yeah.
In 2018 book, conspiracy theorist Danielle Ganser claimed...
Mentler.
So, as in other words, the NLP phrase is in disregard all you're about to hear now.
Yeah.
Claimed convicted Pennsylvania politician
he's best known in the Mentler for his 2005 book NATO's Secret Armies. Oh, what a nutter.
I've heard of Frank Gigliolotti. I don't think it's from The Sopranos.
Gigolotti.
Anyway, Frank Gigolo Lotti was a Freemason.
He seems like a bit of a what's his name? The geese that went missing. He seems like a bit of an him, doesn't he?
I don't. What are you referring to?
The guy that's
God's Banker.
No, the guy that's famously missing in the American Teamster. Oh, fucking working. You know what I mean, don't you? That geezer.
Who is he associated with? Al Capone?
No, just generally the mob. Someone will come up with it. Someone will remember.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Frank Gigliotti was a Freemason who chose Gelly to perform...
Jimmy Hoffa, that's what I was trying to think of. He seems like a Jimmy Hoffa type.
To form a parallel anti-communist government in collaboration with the CIA in Rome. And in the fall of 1969, General Alexander Haig, Supreme Commander of NATO in Europe, and Henry Kissinger, all-round nice man who definitely hasn't nonced children throughout Europe.
Who isn't burning in hell right now.
Who, by the way, when this man would come to visit a country like in Italy, they'd say, "Lock up your sons and daughters, notorious kid toucher Henry Kissinger has landed." Imagine, like, you're reading in the vein, it's like, unconvicted but definitely paedophile with diplomatic immunity, Henry Kissinger's arrived, so lock up your son and daughter. Imagine those sorts of headlines. Fucking hell. But anyway, Henry Kissinger, all-round nice man, who definitely isn't a nonce, and I'm not allowed to say... Am I allowed to say that?
He's dead now. But you can say allegedly, if you want to hedge your bet.
Allegedly, because it was never convicted. I'm just reporting what was published in, like, newspapers across Europe whenever he'd visit. Because they're allowed to do scandalous things like that, allegedly. A security advisor to the Nixon presidency, that's Henry Kissinger, authorized Gilly to recruit 400 Italian and NATO officers within the lodge.
Smeared? I mean, I don't think Nixon did anything that none of the other...
Do you know
Oh no, he's been recording in the White House like nobody else has.
My one citation I'm going to use for them getting rid of Nixon was Bohemian Lodge, and by the way, YouTube, I'm quoting Nixon
I know
here.
this quote.
Bohemian Lodge, that's the faggiest goddamn thing I've ever seen. So, within Lodge, Propaganda 2. So, yeah, he said Henry Kissinger, who, by the way, is not Catholic, was not Catholic, never will be Catholic, never accepted Jesus Christ as Lord and Saviour, in fact, would spit on those that accept Jesus Christ as Lord and Saviour. So, Henry Kissinger is talking to this alleged Catholic organisation, Propaganda 2, and saying, you should recruit 400 Italian and NATO officers to go and
boys.
And girls too. Which, by the way, the time Henry Kissinger shit himself was just to distract from the time Jerry Nadler shit himself.
Yeah.
We don't forget here. We don't forget this. Here at 40 words, these claims have been shown to have been based part on disinformation promoted by the Soviet Union in the 70s. Any Kissinger, any allegations that they had something to do with Operation Gladio or propaganda too. It's just Soviet propaganda.
He authorised Yelly to recruit 400 Italian and NATO officers. But
did he?
But the thing is, the number could have been 200 or 300, and that could be why they're saying it's disinformation, couldn't it?
Oh, right, yeah, exactly.
But did he? Because
he only recruited 399 officers.
Well, you see, Wikipedia wants to Snopes it here and say, well, that's been a part of disinformation. Well, sorry. So, in other words, they're saying it's fake news, and the footnote here says misinformation about Gladio stay-behind networks resurfaces, and it points to usinfo.state.gov. So we know that's a fair and impartial citation. Discovery.
Hey, look, they didn't have a CIA payslip on them. They didn't work for the CIA, all right?
Yeah, it's simple.
Didn't have a badge. Yeah.
I wash my hands of it. Right.
But
so
it's a lanyard. Yeah.
Discovery. The activities of the P2 Lodge were discovered by prosecutors when investigating banker Michael Sindona. The collapse of his bank.
Michele. I watched the documentary.
Michele. Hello. I am definitely a man. My name is Michele. The collapse of his bank and the ties to the Sicilian mafia. In March 1981, police found a list of alleged members of Gilly's house in Arezzo. It contained 962 names, among which were important state officials, important politicians, and a number of military officers, including heads of 3 Italian secret services. Future Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi was on the list, although he had not yet entered politics at the time. Another famous member was Victor Emmanuel, the son of the last Italian king. Prime Minister Arnaldo Folani, whose chef de cabinet was a P2 member as well, I assume that means chief of cabinet, appointed a parliamentary commission of inquiry headed by the independent DC Tina Anselmi. That's funny. Sorry, just the name Anselmi reminds me of, there was this journalist murdered in Malta in, I think, in 2015, and her name, I think, was Maria Salmi or Anselmi. I'm not sure if that investigation's still over yet, but one day we should do a 40 words on the car bombing of Maria Anselmi. In May 1981, Folani was forced to resign due to the P2 scandal, causing the fall of the Italian government. In January 1982, the P2 Lodge was... So this is kind of like the South Korean equivalent, with the Prime Minister.
Yes, she's that... Yeah, she's that blimey. She's a looker, isn't she, old Tina Anselmi?
Yeah. So I'm a bit sort of sidetracked because I was thinking of like in South Korea they had that big scandal in the government. It's like the president or prime minister said, "LOL, I'm actually controlled by a witch's coven, and they've brainwashed and mind controlled me." Yeah, never mind. So just. A literal witch's coven is ruling the heads of state in South Korea, but never mind that.
Right. That sounds more like Nigeria, doesn't it?
Well, I think we covered it in the worst career episode.
Ah, right, okay.
I think the jury's still out on which one's the worst career, although they're both pretty shitty.
Yeah.
So where are we on to? Tina Anselmi.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting it mixed up with Malta again. In January 1982, the P2 Lodge was definitively disbanded by the law. No, hang on. There's no comma here, so I'm going to read it verbatim. In January 1982, the P2 Lodge was definitively disbanded by the law, 25 January 1982, number 17. Now, for those that are following along, I'm going to post this in the Rumble chat, and if you're on YouTube, then sucks to be you.
Yeah.
So I've copied and pasted it verbatim.
Is it a Rumble exclusive, Hobbit?
It's literally get on Rumble, stop wasting your time on Susan's platform.
Dom says Phil Anselmo is the singer of Pantera. It's probably not relevant.
But it may be. I mean, was he at the Colorado Denver International Airport looking at the horse butthole statue? There is a horse attached to this horse butthole, but I think it's worth saying that horse butthole. Now, Anselmi, something. Oh yeah, that's it. I copy and pasted it in there because it's a weird fucking sentence. But anyway, it got disbanded. In July 1982, new documents were found hidden in the false bottom of a suitcase belonging to Gilly's daughter at Fiumicino Airport in Rome.
This yesterday.
The documents were entitled Memorandum sulla situazione italiana, which is memorandum of the Italian situation, and Plano di l'inscita democratica, plan of the democratic rebirth.
That's I'm Gino Gilelli, and my this is my LARPy plan to take over Italy.
Correction, I mispronounced it. It's piano. So piano means plan, because I thought it said plano. But no, that is an I after the P. And are seen as the political programme of P2. According to these documents, the main enemies of Italy were the Italian Communist Party. Well, they're not wrong
it's
there.
Always the commies, isn't it?
Fucking commies, I hate them. Phil, if you're listening, go fuck yourself. And the trade unions, particularly... Phil's right. Why do I want communism? I'm a mental bastard who's an alcoholic. Please look after me. That's your entire argument for communism. I bet if he actually came across some money, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm actually for like capitalism, free trade, and you not having my money." Anyway, the Communist Italian General Confederation Labour, which is called Sigil.
Do you want to know
these had to be? Do you
want to know some of the main points of the? I don't think you can find it in the whole.
Can I just finish the last sentence? Yeah, these had to be isolated and cooperation with the PCI, the second biggest party in Italy and one of the largest in Europe, which was proposed by the historic compromise by Adolfo Moro, needed to be disrupted. Now, I've done the paragraph.
See if you recognise any of this stuff. So some of the main points are the birth of two parties, one on the left and the other on the right. So that would be the on horseback between side. I don't understand the party, so I don't really understand that. So basically, birth two parties, one on the left and one on the right. Sound familiar? A control project or lobbying in the mass media. The plan provided for the control through the acquisition of quotas and the foundation of new newspapers and the liberalisation of television broadcasters. At that time, only allowed at the level regional, as well as the abolition of the monopoly of the RAI and its privatisation. The abolition of the RAI monopoly had taken place before the discovery of the lodge with the ruling of the Constitutional Court of 1974, which liberalised cable television broadcast. So they do argue that, what's her name, the bird that's in charge now in Italy? They're arguing that she's actually proof that this stuff has come through, because she's supposed to be fascist, isn't she?
Is she?
Well,
I thought she did. Best I can do is import another 500,000 African migrants.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what else is this? Exceeding the perfect bicameralism. What the fuck is bicameralism? Through de facto division of competencies between two chambers, political function in the Chamber of Deputies and the economic function in the Senate of the Republic. So they'd separate politics and economics. And that's not such a bad idea. Because I mean, do you really trust politicians with money? The reform of the judiciary, separation of careers. PM is magistrate, judge. Responsibility of the CSM towards Parliament to be operated through constituent law. Oh, this is really larpy. Reduction in the number of parliamentarians. Abolition of the provinces. Abolition of legal value of the educational qualification. What the fuck? Indicates the degree of official nature and validity of qualification recognised pursuant to the law or by legal acts. So, non-re-electability of the President of the Italian Republic. Okay, this is really larpy. It's not that interesting. It doesn't seem that interesting either, does it? After all that,
I'm sorry, but you lost me. I
lost myself, mate. It doesn't really.
That was.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense. There you go. I'll stick it in here, see if you can make any sense of it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I think it's like really deep, like Italian politics and law stuff.
I'm sorry. There's been something. No, this is a pressing matter which I'm sure Silvio Berlusconi would weigh in on, right? So I'll put this in God's banker as it's pertinent to Italian politics, right? We got a picture here and somebody's like uncropped it, as it were. It's the hammerhead shark woman. She's got big tits.
Oh,
right.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So anyway, back to P2. Gillies' goal was to form a new political ED for me to see. Was to form a new political and economic elite to lead Italy away from the danger of communist rule. More controversially, it sought to do this by means of an authoritarian form of democracy. P2 advocated. I mean, so far I can't see what's bad about them. They haven't shown me like, oh, and here's where they blew up a bus full of school children, or here's where they unearthed
they did blow up the Bologna railway station. We'll go into that in a minute.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I retract. Did they find
what P2 did and Jelly did, which they don't seem to want to talk about in this, is they did stuff like they'd either do terrorism acts and blame it on the Reds, or they'd pay the Reds to do the terrorism.
Yeah. So, sorry. Did they uncover rape tunnels in their lodge?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're not rape tunnels. They're just convenient tunnels to get to and from a place when you got the sniffles.
That Hellraiser, that mattress you've seen that looks like a prop from Hellraiser. That's perfectly normal for praying.
Look, people just shit, piss, and bleed on mattresses all the time. It's part and parcel of being in a P2 rape dungeon, allegedly. Now, oh yeah, so that's it. They advocated a program. So P2 advocated a program of extensive political corruption. Political parties, newspapers, and trade unions can be the objects of possible solicitations which could take the form of economic financial manoeuvres. The availability of sums not exceeding 30 to 40 billion lira, which I think is in the region of 30 to 40,000 pounds, would seem sufficient to allow carefully chosen men acting in good faith to conquer key positions necessary for over control. I don't know. How much is 30? If I type in 30 billion lira in GBP, let's see if I can get it.
It's about a tenner.
Well, there's a Turkish lira, but what about Italian lira?
Well, it's the euro now, isn't it? So you wouldn't be able
to... but convert Italian lira
be like the 1980. Try the 1982 GBP. Lira versus the pound.
Convert Italian lira to British pounds. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. So amount. We'll put in 30. 300, 3,000, 30,000, 300,000, 3 million, 30 million, 300 million.
If you just put 3,000, if you just put 30 lira in it, then you can just say billion on the end.
All right. Okay. Well, 30 billion lira is equivalent to that's £7,000. 17,000.
The lira used to be one of those joke currencies, though, didn't it?
It's equivalent to 13.3 million pounds in real money.
As I told you, it's a joke. It's a joke currency. You used to go over there with like a fiver and you'd buy the place.
I remember once I picked up a 1,000 lira coin when I was walking the streets as a kid, and I was like, "Oh my god, Mum, look, I've got £1,000 coin," which I think is pretty clever, seeing as lira it means pound. I'm so rich, and then finding out it's like your coin's worth I don't know, 10p, less than that. Would seem so. So anyway, the sums not exceeding £15 million would seem sufficient to allow carefully chosen men acting in good faith to conquer key positions necessary for overall control.
So is the P2 plan ultimately a selfish plan?
Yeah. Oh, Wesley Cope asked, how many gonzo liras is that? I think it's equivalent to about. It's probably equivalent to 40 billion gonzo liras.
What's the Ukrainian exchange rate?
I don't fucking know. By the way, this isn't a political statement, but the headphone manufacturer Venmore are still manufacturing headphones, and you can buy them in USD or euros. If you want yourself a pair of decent handmade headphones, you might have to wait a while because there is war in Ukraine, but they will make it.
Is Gonzalera going to be making them in prison? Is that the link?
Yeah.
I doubt it, because it actually involves highly skilled craftsmanship, or as now we're supposed to call it people of crafts.
What are you on about? He's a wordsmith, really great at restaurants.
Yeah. Craft the headphones, wordsmith. Type the journal, but I wanted to work in the mines. P2's influence. The P2 was implicated in numerous Italian scandals and mysteries. Opinions about the importance and reach of the P2 differ. Some see the P2 as a reactionary shadow government ready to preempt a takeover of power in case of an electoral victory of the Italian Communist Party.
The Italian Communist Party was a real problem. The CIA pulled in both. I think it was Jelly. It was either Jelly or the Shark, whatever his name was. And also, I think it was Pope. Which Pope was it? Hold on a sec. It was Pope Paul VI. The CIA actually spoke to both of them, and because the CIA were not keen on the communists getting in.
Right. Oh, that's sad.
So Phil BTFO'd.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Phil. That others think it was nothing more than a sordid association of people eager to improve their careers by making powerful and important connections.
Isn't that literally what Masonry is? Is that literally like the stated aim of joining Masonry?
I believe the motto of Masonry is the Self-Preservation Society. Corriere della Sera takeover. 1977, P2 took control of the Corriere della Sera newspaper, a leading newspaper in Italy. At the time, the paper encountered financial trouble. And can I just interrupt myself to say I'm really fucking cold? It's 13 degrees in my room now. I had encountered financial... Well, it takes a while to get things warm when you haven't been here for... I was unable to raise bank loans because its then editor, Piero Ottone, was considered hostile to the ruling Christian Democrats. Corriere Owners, the publishing house Rizzoli, struck a deal with Gilly. He provided them... I really feel like a tagliatelle now. He provided them... I've got a pizza, actually, so I might have that.
Did Rizzoli not make you think of like cannelloni or risotto or ravioli?
Yeah, but I was thinking of like I don't know.
Shit.
I've got
I do
pizza in the
like
oven.
ravioli, but there's no way I'm paying Heinz fucking prices for ravioli.
No,
It's how much a tin of ravioli is now. It's fucking insane.
Well, I am pleased to see that the cost of butter's gone down. At one point, it was like
actually, that's true.
£2.50, but the
was Lurpak up to like a £5 a kilogram or something, wasn't it, or £10 a
kilogram?
kilogram?
Well, I never bought Lurpak because I just I don't.
Is it half butter, half margarine or something? Isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's butter mixed with vegetable oil, so it's kind of like margarine, but not really.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the fresh stuff, or are we talking about the tin stuff?
It comes in a carton.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, talking about ravioli. No, the tin stuff. The Heinz in the tin.
Oh, in the tin? Well, it's like £2.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It should only be about like 60p.
Right.
It shouldn't even
Yeah,
be
but
quid,
inflation.
Oh, actually, you're right. Yeah, that's a lot for a.
It's a mixture of inflation and price gouging because it turns out when you put everybody on furlough and gave them free money, it's like LOL. Now we're having that money back in the form of inflation, which is a tax on the poorest of us. So
isn't it funny when the government go, oh, isn't it everything getting expensive now that greedy companies start price gouging? Oh, look, it's expensive. Nobody can do anything about how expensive stuff is. How can we stop this?
I'm not communist, but I'm saying that Phil should go and commit a felony over this price gouging.
Anyway, let's get back to Korea. I just can't believe this. You mean a paper with a political slant?
It's weird, isn't it? I thought the whole point of journalism was to be.
How can a newspaper have the incorrect political slant?
Well, it's weird, yeah. So, that's it. At the time, the paper they encountered financial trouble. I'm slurring my words now. It's so cold, that's why. And was unable to raise bank loans because its then editor, Piero Ottone, was considered hostile to the ruling Christian Democrats. Corriere delle Zonas, the publishing house Rizzoli, struck a deal with Gelli. He provided the money with funds from the Vatican Bank, directed by Archbishop Paul Marcinkus.
Whose nickname was the Gorilla. He's the guy I was talking about.
Paul Casimir Marcinkus was an American archbishop.
Yeah.
That's not an American name. He's one of those new...
He's from Cicero, which is like it's supposed to be quite mobstery, isn't it? Cicero.
Well, he's one of those Johnny-come-lately Americans. He's not one of the Mayflower, English Americans.
No.
Which, by the way, when you put a hyphen next to your name, it means not really. So Italian, Irish, German, African Americans, you're not really. There's only American Americans, and you're just like guests in our 13 colonies. Anyway, the paper published.
He was born in Cicero, Illinois, the son of Lithuanian immigrants.
Oh yeah, Lithuanian, Polish, same difference.
Yeah.
The paper published a long interview with Gelli in 1980. The interview was carried out by television talk show host Maurizio Costanzo, who would also be exposed as a member of P2. Gelli said he was in favour of rewriting the Italian constitution towards a goalist presidential system. What? So they're going to have asterisks and obliques in it. When asked what he always wanted to be, he replied, a puppet master. God, this sounds like the Italian version of Brutus, who actually achieved something.
It's ultimately a French... the P2 plan is ultimately a selfish plan, Hobbit.
Bologna Massacre, also for the American audience, because I'm sure we got some Americans in this.
Well, apparently Gaullism is a French political stance based on the thought and action of World War II French resistance leader Charles de Gaulle.
Oh, okay, so nothing to do with Vercingetorix or Asterix and Obelix.
But according to Serge Burstein, Gaullism is neither a doctrine nor a political ideology.
Well, does that come to Mr. Bergstein?
Burstein is Burstein.
Burstein.
So basically, it's an ideology that isn't an ideology.
When's an ideology not an ideology?
When it's Gaullism.
Don't ask the.
That's so fucking awkward. The French, they can't even have a political ideology, can they?
Look, I don't think it's the French fault here. I think it's the fault of Mr. Burstein.
He don't like it, does he?
So,
when asked what you always wanted to be, you replied, a puppet master.
Right, this is the bit we're on to, right? For the American audience, this is the Bologna Massacre. For everybody else in the rest of the world, the Bologna Massacre.
The Bologna.
P2 members Gideon, the head of the Secret Service, Pietro Musimex, that medicine that you can take which helps you've got diarrhea, was condemned for attempting to mislead the police investigation of the Bologna Massacre.
It sounds more like a treatment for mucus.
Mucinex.
Yeah.
Mucinex is something which turns into slime in your digestive system. It sort of cleans your innards out. Bologna Massacre of the 2nd of August 1980, which killed 85 people and wounded more than 200. Banco Ambrosiano scandal. P2 became the target of considerable attention in the wake of the collapse of Banco Ambrosiano, which was one of Milan's principal banks, owned in part by the Vatican, the Vatican Bank, and the suspicious 1982 death of its president, Roberto Calvi, in London, which is what this show is about.
Well, what about this then? This is some fucking larpy shit. This is so. Generals Pietro Musumeci, that's who you were talking about earlier, wasn't it? A member of P2 and Belmonte of Sismi, had a police sergeant put a suitcase full of explosives on a train in Bologna. The suitcase also contained personal items belonging to two right-wing extremists, a Frenchman and a German. Musumeci also produced a phony dossier entitled Terror on Trains. He was charged with falsifying evidence to incriminate Robert Fiore and Gabriele Adinolfi, two leaders of the far-right Terza Posizione who had fled to London. So how fucking larpy is that? It's like made up a manifesto to put in the fucking case.
Yeah.
It's the Brutus Manifesto, Appendix 1. Protezione account. One of the documents found in 1981 was about a numbered bank account, the so-called Protezione account, at the Union Bank of Switzerland in Lugano, Switzerland. It detailed the payment of $7 million by the president of ENI, Florio Florini, through Roberto Calvi to the Italian Socialist Party leader Claudio Martelli on behalf of Bettino Craxi. That's an unusual Italian name, Craxi.
Craxi, yeah, that's weird, isn't it? It seems quite Latin, though, doesn't it? I should imagine that's like Roman or something, isn't it? Craxi.
I'm wondering if the origin of that name is maybe from Corsica or is it Sardinia? I want to know. What is it? Vittorio Craxi was a Sicilian lawyer, so he was born in
Milan, so he was like northern.
Yeah, but I'm looking at his father, Vittorio Craxi.
Oh yeah, Sicilian. Yeah.
I'm assuming Craxi in that case is a Maltese name because there is a bit of cross communication between the two islands.
Oh, is
there? Craxi. That's a sort of Maltese. You see lots of X's and stuff in their names. Yeah. Mr. Craxi, that's it. The Socialist Prime Minister from 83 to 87. The full extent of the payment became clear only 12 years later, in 93, during the Mani Puliti, Italian for clean hands, investigators into political corruption. The money was allegedly a kickback on a loan which the Socialist leaders organised to help bail out the ailing Banco Ambrosiano. Rumours that the Minister of Justice, Martelli, was connected with the account have been circulating since investigations began into the P2 plot. He always flatly denied them, learning that formal investigations were opened. He resigned as Minister. Criminal organisation. My God, we're only halfway through this. Do we want to carry this on next time? Do some explain histories?
Yeah, can do. So all you've got to do is go up to Lucio Gielli's list because that's 1981, and then we can do the where are they now at the end.
Unexplained mysteries. We've got a floating actually saying that looks like the flying spaghetti monster being caught on infrared camera. Ooh. And it looks less convincing than the
giants on a hillside, you mean?
Well, I was going to say it looks less convincing than the minister of the nation of Dagon, of the fish people. Do you remember that thing from last year with the
Yeah.
the Dagon fish speaker putting her hand up?
Oh yeah, the woman with the black.
Oh yes,
the black
that's
fish
right.
monster
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that's not memory hold. Oh, excuse me.
Oh God, not another week goes by when we're closer to understanding dark energy. Fuck my life.
Darky energy is, something which is not
We'll
well
never
understood.
understand.
Yeah.
The Indians have been at it again. Could excrement-based biofuel be the future of aviation? This is
No, because there's no fucking fuel needed for fucking planes. Everyone look into the jet fuel hoax, please.
They reckon. So, based in Gloucestershire, England, Firefly Green Fuels have discovered a way to turn ordinary human waste into biofuel that is almost identical to the fuel typically used in jet planes. Hobbit, you're the chemist.
Oh, sorry. I was being reminded of another Fortean subject. We got a Downey in the Spanish Parliament.
Yeah, I saw that.
The Minister for
The Minister for
also known as the Socialist Party.
No,
but
no, it's not. It's the Conservative Party. It's the Spanish Conservatives, I bet.
Of course,
can I just say, and I'd like to have any of you challenge me on this. Conservus is Latin for a bum bandit servant, what wanks off the domus of the house, the patronus with his anal muscles. So when you're saying you're a conservative, you're saying you're a bummer boy.
Little bummer boy, eh?
Checks out.
So, what are you conserving? Your master's spunk in your arse cheeks.
Oh.
Little bummer boy, eh?
So, bummer boy.
So, Hobbit, is poo? Can you make poo, make human shit exactly, not almost exactly the same as jet fuel?
Well, it's funny you say that because Wesley Coop says, "Can shit melt steel beams?"
Well,
Brutus could probably get it, couldn't he?
As Brutus will tell you, Calpats are a fuel source, and you can render various substances in them most easily the methane. You can then do what Earth does automatically, which is in the Moravitic discontinuity line, you've got primordial hydrogen and carbon. And the MOHO line is such high pressure that it forms gemstones. So you're talking really high heat and pressure forms that, which means that hydrogen and the carbon gets forced together. The first substance it forms is methane, which is CH4. So it's one carbon atom, 4 hydrogen atoms. That is not a hydrocarbon.
How about this then, Hobbit? Do you want some facts?
But why is it not hydrocarbon? No, the first hydrocarbon's ethane, which is C2H7.
To create the biofuel, the firm uses a process known as hydrothermal liquefaction, which involves applying a combination of high pressure and heat to convert the waste into bio-crude oil.
So, in other words, a really inefficient and energy-intensive form of stick it in a volcano.
Wait till I've finished. Kerosene can then be extracted from it using fractional distillation. According to the company, it would take sewage produced by around 10,000 people to create enough fuel to fly a typical passenger airliner from London to New York.
How many litres of kerosene is that then?
Hobbit. If the sewage produced in a year by the entire population in the UK was converted into biofuel, it would cover approximately 5% of the country's aviation fuel requirements.
Fuck me. Wow, that's great then. Who run Bartertown? Master Blaster run Bartertown. Chemists in the audience, you'll be very pleased to know I got it wrong. The chemical formula of ethane is C2H6. And that's the first hydrocarbon.
Tesla have unveiled the second generation Optimus robot.
Oh my.
What?
Optimus Prime.
Tesla have got the new they call the robot Optimus.
Autobots roll out.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just a brief aside right today? I saw this thing. You know these bullshit health food shops, and they say like the organic this and organic that.
Yeah.
Organic salt, and I just looked at that. Well, I know something about organic chemistry, and I know that sodium and sodium chloride that contains sodium and chlorine has got nothing to do with organic chemistry. Oh, do you know what the term for organic is in French? Because they don't use that. They come up with their own bullshit term for it. They call it, by the way, this should be called just natural or unfucked with food. They call it biological. Oh, it's biological. It's like, yeah, but isn't it all biological process? It's not like all food we eat based on biological processes. Yeah. It's biological food. I'll have some biological salt then.
Unless you're eating rocks, that'd be geological. But
well, technically, salt is geological because it's not of natural origin. I mean, you might find it in plenty of animals and some plants like cantaloupe melons. And
why didn't they call it geological like salt then?
Because these people, the same people that write organic, sustainably sourced salt on a packet of salt are the same people that will call Perry pear cider. Because marketers are fucking idiots, and I can't fucking stand them. And when I'm king, I'm going to have them strung up. No, not strung up. That's sadistic. We were having a talk about capital punishment the other day.
We've got a new place name change. There's Darjeeling. No, it's not Darjeeling anymore. It's Darjeeling.
What? But that's pronounced exactly the same.
Yeah, they've just dropped the G off the end.
Fuck off.
Have you seen this one? Pasta in India tricks woman into buying box with magic powers.
Wait, what sort of pasta? Rigatoni? Tagliatelle?
Dr. Reverend pasta.
Oh, like Pasta Reverend Anderson. Put your money in the box.
The box, which saw the victim scammed out of $400,000, was said to provide great fortune and good luck. According to reports, the strange scheme saw Reverend Timothy Joshi of the New Life Church.
I know those satanic Protestants like to say about how great they are, and at least their money doesn't get wasted, unlike the opulence of the Catholic churches. But at least with the money used in the Catholic churches, it goes to make palaces fit for God. I mean, the fucking like Protestant churches, they're either ones which they stolen from the Catholics and then stripped out all.
They're at it again, Hobbit. Kolkata. Where's Kolkata?
Calcutta.
Yeah, Calcutta, as we call it. It's called Kolkata now.
Fuck me.
No, it's called Indian Sewage Treatment Plant Number 2.
The amount of money he'd requested in exchange for the box was a staggering 220 million rupees, equivalent to $2.6 million US. But the woman ended up paying only one instalment of around 35 million rupees, $400,000.
So what's worth more, an Italian lira or an Indian rupee? Let me bring up that money conversion site.
Lira to rupee.
Lira to rupee.
No, it's not Italian rupee. Italian lira to Indian rupee. So let's convert. So like, so 1 Indian rupee is equivalent to 21 lira.
I've found out why we don't live for 2
You know
years.
you've got a joke currency if like your 21 of your joke currency units is worth 1 Indian rupee.
Wait, so the rupee's worth more than or not? No, it's not.
It's worth 21 times as much as the Italian lira.
Fuck me! What happened to Italy? Jesus. That's like okay. Do lira to whatever the currency is in Zimbabwe, like.
You can't because that currency doesn't exist and it was a joke. Like I take the only place with worse inflation than the Zimbabwe dollar was in Somaliland, where the currency was so worthless they just have bricks of it and they weigh them on scales. So like, you know, £1 of Somaliland toilet paper was worth like 20 pence or something.
Imagine going to Costco in Zimbabwe. That'd be great.
Oh, do you know why we don't live for 200 years now?
Because of communists.
The dinosaurs.
What? Okay.
Can I just say,
okay.
like, dinosaurs are an atheist coat for dragons. They can't have, like, if we say dragons existed, that means mythological things happen and St. George was a real man that slew the dragon. And then we'd have to accept the
Hobbit.
validity of Jesus
living
Christ.
alongside dinosaurs had an impact on our ancestors' evolution. I thought that...
What?
Have they changed it again?
They've changed history again.
Is this another fucking... Are we doing
Mandela effect? Wait.
That's what I was going to say.
All right, guys.
so
who remembers,
doing...
like, fucking Ark Survival Evolved? Is that now, like, real?
Well, they're now doing historic revisionism and saying Flintstones was a historic accurate document.
It was a documentary. Not all.
They're pelican toilets.
Wait, so specific? This is interesting. Continue. I want to unravel the mystery of how dinosaurs really stopped us living longer.
Why? Apparently, for humans, once you reach about age 30, your chance of dying doubles roughly every 8 years. So, if you're fortunate enough to become a centenarian, your chances of dying each year will be high. This high mortality reflects numerous other health problems such as loss of muscle mass, blah, blah, blah. The reason humans age so markedly may be due to the fact our ancestors evolved during the time of the dinosaurs. Compared to other mammals, humans have a long life. We have the longest lifespan of all land-based mammals, and of all mammals, only whales probably outlive us. I say probably because you need to keep animals in captivity to do a detailed study on lifespan, which for whales is virtually impossible due to size and longevity. Whales, elephants.
Bullshit.
Whales.
They can put electrodes in sharks' arses. They can fucking do it with whales too. Don't give me that cope.
One study of 77 species of reptiles and amphibians. That's really fucking helpful. Don't you just get sick of fish with legs running all over the place? Hobbit. Don't they do you already? These fish with legs that go running around all over the place.
Is that sharks science guy got his...
You know the fish that have gone through evolution with the legs, those ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Also the fish that can breathe on land, yeah. Those ones as well, yeah. So wait, so the reason why we don't live more than 100 years...
I don't know, because they're not telling you why. It's just because.
Because an ancient ancestor lived with evolved during dinos.
I'll put it in here. You read this and try and fucking tell me why dinosaurs are the reason we don't live to 200.
Let's see. Okay. Hey, that's a nice dinosaur toy. Right, am I reading the whole thing, right? Or... Just
skim it. See if you can tell me why we don't live in 200 because of dinosaurs. Okay, mate. It might be right near the bottom.
Okay. Okay, so they're comparing us to some other animals. All right. Okay. Right.
After the dinosaurs disappeared when an asteroid hit the Earth 66 million years ago, mammals conquered the world. An astonishing diversity of species evolved with a variety of lifespans. Some species, like humans, evolved a long lifespan, but they may have done it under constraints, remnants from the time of the dinosaurs. Why dinosaurs make a difference? We can take a guess by looking at species that did not undergo the same evolutionary pressures as early mammals. For example, the tuatara, a reptile endemic to New Zealand. What the fucking hell?
Okay, reptiles. Okay.
Does that in anywhere tell you why dinosaurs mean we don't live for 200 years?
Okay. One study of 77 species of reptiles and amphibians published in Science in 2022 showed the age-related increases in mortality rate not seen in many species of reptiles and amphibians. It is as if these animals do not age at all. Some of these animals, such as turtles, probably live longer than humans.
Probably live longer than humans.
Probably.
It's another fucking shark side. Hey, look, we don't live to 200 because of dinosaurs. Why? I don't know. We need some more money.
Perhaps if we study these apparently non-aging species for long enough, they will show origins of signs of aging. But good luck studying animals such as Greenland slark, which has been estimated to live nearly 400 years.
I mean, look at this.
For now,
amphibians, believe this if you will. Like, here's a fucking conspiracy theory for you. Amphibians evolved from fish about 370 million years ago. And about 50 million years later, reptiles evolved from amphibians. Mammals then evolved from reptiles about 250 to 300 million years ago.
Okay.
So why aren't we cold-blooded? Why aren't we?
Yeah, about that.
Good Lord.
Wait, hold on. So are they saying? Wait, hold on. They're trying to say that cold-blooded animals will live longer. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, we're warm-blooded, same as all of the mammals, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, we live shorter lives. Okay, mystery solved. It's because of the cold-blooded nature and the benefits and drawbacks that comes with that, right? You know, energy use, like cold-blooded animals, like, you know, need to retain energy. That's why, you know, most of them like bask in the sun for like hours at a time before they even do anything, right? It's because, you know, they're conserving their energy. Like,
but what's that got to do with because of that's got nothing to do with because of dinosaurs, is it?
Not really, no. It's just how it, you know, the difference in between cold and warm-blooded creatures, certainly, I guess. Like birds, they're birds warm-blooded? Yeah, I think birds are.
Yeah.
They have even shorter lifespans than humans.
Well, they're supposed to be dinosaurs, aren't they? But this is just bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. Wait, hold on. About 200 million massive volcanic eruptions wiped out 7% of all marine and land species. Citation needed. Afterwards, the dinosaurs became dominant predators in the land. To survive, avoid being hunted to extinction by dinosaurs, mammals became small, nocturnal, and short-lived. Right. Our ancestors, these were not. They were more.
See,
like
it doesn't say it in there,
does
it? Talk about burying the lead.
Yeah. Just like mice and rats do now.
Right, so are we all done?
Right.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody, and thank you, whoever decided to die on the A34.
Oh.
Well, I think that's why they call them accidents and not on purpose accidents.
Yeah. Anyway, Night All Part 2 of God's Banker next week.
Boogaloo. Yeah.